Times Radio with Ayesha Hazarika.
Welcome back. We're just bringing you more on that breaking news story that the International Court of Justice has just ruled that Israel's settlement policy in occupied Palestinian territories is in breach of international law. We just heard from Daniel Levy. Let's now hear from Natasha Hausdorff, who is a barrister and director of UK Lawyers for Israel. Natasha, welcome to the show. Good afternoon.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I, in fact, serve as the legal director of the UK LFI Charitable Trust, which focuses on combating anti-Semitism and educating in particular about international law.
OK, I'm sorry we didn't have the right title for you. Your reaction to this news?
Well, it's a further example of the International Court of Justice, I'm afraid, not being fit for purpose. I wouldn't say it's in any way surprising because this opinion, and it is an opinion, not a decision or a ruling, as has already been mistakenly referred to, is emanating from a heavily politicised court and one which has been for some time now waging a campaign against Israel, which unfortunately is based on false information. I appreciate your previous commentator was not a lawyer. He was clearly confusing separate cases that are proceeding in various international legal tribunals. But the fact of the matter here is that the court has made this opinion based on information which has just been presented with, which is not correct, is not accurate, put forward a very false picture. It has said repeatedly in the course of the opinion that it was delivered orally by the president that it is based on the information before it. And just to give you one example, I mean, talking in the context of East Jerusalem, the president of the court was reporting an inhospitable environment for Arab residents of East Jerusalem. Well, 93% of them prefer a continuation of Israeli rule. So clearly, the factual basis upon which the court has provided a non-legally binding opinion is troubled.
So, I'm just conscious of time, Natasha. So basically, you're very much against this ruling. What will your message be to the new Labour government? I mean, David Lammy obviously was out in Israel last week. The UK and others have sanctioned extremist Israeli groups over violence against Palestinian communities. He raised this last week. What will your message to the new Labour government be?
The important point for any government, especially of the UK, that prizes the rule of law and international law in particular, is to seek to ensure its proper application. So where we have a court where the president, who I've referred to as a former ambassador from Lebanon to the UN, who has a virulent anti-Israel track record, has refused to recuse himself from this case and has been reportedly spurring it on, driving it forward and speeding up the process. His Twitter record is perfectly available and has been the subject of a detailed report only yesterday by UN Watch. It's important that David Lammy and others, especially in this government that talks about international law in positive terms, seeks to make sure that the court is not acting in a politicised fashion that turns international law on its head. We have dire consequences from that, not just for Israel. I mean, that shouldn't be the focus here, really. The consequences for international law more generally, and for those of us that prize the rule of law, are potentially dire, and the credibility of the court is in complete tatters.
So your message to the UK government is to go after the court? Well,
there needs to be a clear indication from members of the International Court of Justice, as there should be from member states of the International Criminal Court, of which the UK is a party, whereas Israel and the US are not. There needs to be a clear message that international law cannot be disapplied if you have a country that politically you are some way opposed to, or you have some ideological opposition to. I mean, your previous commentator mentioned anti-Semitism. The reason that it is pertinent.
Natasha, I'm just really conscious of time, so we'll have to end it there. But thanks very much for your time. That's Natasha Hausdorff there.